Hey, I'm a conehead. Hello everybody, Stickerix here. Today we're checking out Transformers Earthrise Starscream. So let's get in and get right into it and check him out here. So let's bring him in here for a nice closer look at all his fancy dancy details and all of that. He is really nicely done. He has a very simplistic G1 design to him compared to his Siege Starscream, which we will take a look at the comparisons here at a moment, but we'll just go down here and look at all the nice paint details and all that all around him. There's a look from the back side. It does have this big nose cone in the back, but it is reminiscent of the original G1 toy, and there's a lot of that I am getting from this Starscream. Very, very nicely done though. This is all paint, all the red here is paint, so there's that. The arms are nicely done as well. There's the leg areas, nice paint everywhere, nice head sculpt. There's no light piping on this Starscream like the Siege Starscream, but that's alright. And all around looks really good. For articulation on Starscream here, he does have a 360 head rotation right there. Woo! He does look down and up. His arms can rotate back and forth. Not a full 360 due to the wings in the back. The wings can rotate back and forth like that, and they are on a hinge right there. The arms can go out, and there's a bend there at the elbow, a swivel right there. No waist articulation, which is surprising, seeing how most of the Transformers from the trilogy have waist swivel, but this one does not. But he does have a leg rotation up there. He does have a bend there at the knee. And of course he does have ankle pivot. Whoops. Right there. And one of the biggest things I like about this Starscream is he doesn't have any of that paint splotches like he does on the Siege Starscream. So let's bring in Siege Starscream and we'll compare them two. So here we have Earthrise Starscream next to the Siege Starscream, and you can clearly see the difference between the two. You can see how they stack up next to each other, and the Siege Starscream is actually a little bit taller than the Earthrise Starscream. And we can take a look at the backs of them as well. So there's that. And all around 360 spin, so you can kind of see how they look together. And there are some pros and cons to both of these guys. This Starscream has wrist articulation as well as a waist swivel, while this Starscream does not have wrist articulation and no waist swivel, though it's alright if he doesn't have waist swivel. I personally like the Transformers with waist swivel if they come with a sword or something, but because he's got his, no raise, he's perfectly fine for me. The feet area, I do like how this Starscream's feet doesn't have any of these hang-off bits. There's that, and another thing I like about the Siege Starscream is all of this red here is just solid plastic, so there's no paint chipping anywhere on this Starscream, so you're not going to get any paint chips from this guy. While on this Starscream, you are going to get paint chips on this red here, and up here, all this red is painted, and it's very nice silver paint. It is, very nice glossy nice red, but it does have the ability for a paint chippage, so you got to be careful with that. And I will be showing you how not to get this paint chip right here, because this is a little weird of a connection point right here, and if you don't do this just right, you can get the paint chippage here. This whole piece right here does have to move up and down due to transformation, and it is having a little paint chipping right there due to that. So I figured out a way to avoid that, but that is a little negative that this Starscream does have. Another thing these two Starscreams are differently is, again, no battle damage, but also the amount of detail on the two figures here. So if we bring them in there for a little more closer look, you can see how simplistic the Earthrise Starscream is in his complete design, while this Starscream has a lot more details in his legs. Especially you can see in the legs how much more mechanically detailed the Siege Starscream is compared to Earthrise Starscream, and on the wings, a lot more of that detail is all around on this one besides this one, which is fine since this one's going for a very heavily G1 look, while this one has a more updated, more detailed Cybertronian look to them. And for a quick size comparison, here is Siege Megatron with Earthrise Starscream, so you can see how those two scale together. And being a Voyager class figure, Starscream here stands at roughly 6.5 inches tall, 7 if you're counting to the top of his little stacks here. So there's that for his size. And now we're going to get into his transformation. But again, I am going to show how this whole section works before we get into the whole transformation bit here. So what you're going to want to do here is this section here actually pushes together. So if you take your two fingers here and push like so, you're going to separate these two, because originally you just have to pull that out and it's really difficult to do, and that will scratch the paint. So what I like to do is I squeeze the plastic here, and you're not going to get any stress from this, so you just want to do like so, and then you can easily slip it out without actually having to yank and paint chip there. So that's a little thing that I have figured out you can do without getting the paint chipped very, very much. So there's a little tip there when transforming Starscream. Now with that out of the way, let's get down to his transformation! And here we have Starscream in his Earth Jet mode, and he looks really good. I really like how Starscream looks in this mode. I really like Starscream in Earth-based jet mode, and I just love it. It looks really, really nice. And what I love about it is there's no battle damage. None whatsoever. Let me just fill those feet up really quick. But yeah, it looks great. There's the underneath of Starscream right there. Looks really good, very nice and sleek right there. It doesn't look all that bad. Wings and everything on this guy just looks amazing. Looks like Starscream. Very, very, very well done here. Looks really good. I really like it. And the nice simplistic detail is also there as well. Nice Decepticon logos right there. He just looks all around very, very nice. Very, very cool. And very, again, very, 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 very good. There's the cockpit right there, and you can see there is in there molded detail inside. You do have, looks like, two areas for a pilot, maybe just one room right there. But all around looks really, really nice. There's the bottom of Starscream's head right there. You can see that there's no landing gear, but what is nice is none of this red paint will be chipped on how it sits, because this jet sits here and on these. So when you put him down, he's not going to be scratching anything. So very, very nice. There's the back end of Starscream. Fix that up and right there, and that all looks really nice. Very, very, very well done. As you can tell, I really like this Starscream. Looks really cute. And this is a very, very big jet mode. So let's bring in the ruler here and show you the length of this guy. He is about 9 inches long, and from tail tip to tail tip, he's about 6 inches. So he's a pretty good sized jet here, and compared to his Tetra jet, Cybertronian look, you can see the size difference right there. But this Starscream compacts a lot more than the Earthrise Starscream, but you can clearly see the size difference of the two right there. He's even wider than Starscream. Very, very different in size there. And again, while this Starscream is nice, he does have all this paint blotch, which I do not like, while this one is beautiful. So that is very nice. And again, there was the comparison really quickly of these two guys. And I do want to quickly show this before we go into the final thoughts. When everything on Starscream in his everything in Starscream's jet mode here locks in really good, and everything stays in really well and locked, except for these. These they have a nice little firmness to them, so they're not going to flip down or anything. But for transformation, getting him back into the robot mode, man, you have to really finesse because of how these tabs on the wings there work. So when you go to untab these, it's very, very hard to actually get them untabbed because of how it's all connecting here. And let's see if it. So this side, you can see how it untabs there. Now that see, the wings can have a tendency to pop off, but it's not that bad. I just wanted to show that off really quick. That for transformation, it does work hard to get them untapped. And try to take it off from this direction. I figured out that's the easiest way to go, not the other way. So just make sure you pull it that way. And if you just want to pull the wings off, you can do that too. Like the G1 toy, you just pull the wings right off. So there is that. Now let's get to the final thoughts. And here are my final thoughts on Earthrise Voyager class Starscream. I think he's really cool. Though there are some things that I think hold him back because he is based off of existing mold of a Transformer design already put out a few years ago. And I'll put an image up here of that toy. And that's what I think really holds back the Starscream from being better than it could even be. He just has a lot of that same look and design from that Transformer. And because of that, he suffers from some of those designs, like the flap here and the big nose cone in the back. For me personally, I would have liked them to get this cone put into the chest. Like if you watch the G1 show, you do know that the cone goes from here and goes in here. And on Titan's Return, Megatron that has the triple changer, the cone does nice fold up into here. Like they could have had this whole cone thing maybe open up and all this fold in and tuck right in there to get all this put in there. And maybe these flaps could have even been turned or something and tucked right back on his back of the legs so it's hiding some better. Maybe that could have been done. And again, if they did a whole remold and a retooling and made a completely new Starscream mold, they probably could have even gotten a waist swivel in there. So this, again, figure, I don't think it's bad, but again, I think they could have done a lot better if they didn't go the lazy route and just made a completely new Starscream instead of heavily basing this mold off of the mold that was already out. Kind of like what they did with this Starscream, which is brand new and works really good for robot mode. So again, it's not a bad Transformer, but again, I do think it could have been done better. But again, that's my final thoughts on that. So hope you enjoyed the review of this guy, and Geigen Build will be coming out this week. Hope you look forward to that, and I'll see you on the next video. Until then, have a great day, and bye everybody!